Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Sonic Heroes. Last time we completed Team Rose's story. In this episode, we're going to be starting the final team here in Sonic Heroes, Team Chaotix story. Let's go ahead and see what Omochao here has to say about Team Chaotix.
Team Chaotix offers a very unique mission-based style of gameplay.
So just from that comment alone, you can tell that Team Chaotix is going to be the most unique team out of the 4 teams here in Sonic Heroes. With our other 3 teams, our goal was just to get to the end as fast as possible. Nothing else we had to do in the level really mattered. This time around, Team Chaotix changes up the gameplay, so with that said, let's go ahead and jump into Team Chaotix story.
Here we go!
Yeah, let's go! It's here! Yeah! Whoa!
What's wrong with you?
It's here! It's here! We've got work!
What?
I've heard good things about you and require your detective services. And I can pay handsomely.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
SBO, don't be silly. Besides, you know our policy. We never turn down work that pays.
Yeah, you know our policy!
Come on, boys. Let's go.
Yes, sir!
Roger.
So you'll see here right off the bat, Team Chaotix here has a very different gameplay style. As you see, our mission says find 10 hermit crabs. You'll see what this entails once we get into the gameplay here.
Yeah, beach time!
Now what are we gonna do?
See!
I must test your abilities.
Bring it on.
Ready.
Here is your first mission. I want to test your investigation skills. Collect 10 hermit crabs.
So our first mission here is to collect 10 hermit crabs, but there's actually more than that in Seaside Hill. In fact, there are 20 hermit crabs, as demonstrated here by the extra mission.
Here's your next mission. There's a total of 20 hermit crabs on this beach. Find all 20 of them.
So how Team Chaotix gameplay here works is basically their levels are now a mission-based gameplay. So some levels you can have collect these certain amount of things. Other levels you can have beat it in this certain time frame or kill these many enemies or find this object in the level. It can be ranging from a lot of different things. And whenever we get to a mission that says collect X number of items, there's always more than what they say in the normal mission, which is where the extra missions come into play. After you beat a level here in Sonic Heroes, then there will be an alternate mission for you to play in the level select, aka the extra mission. And the extra missions here for Team Chaotix add in extra objectives to their standard mission. And in the case of this one, instead of collecting 10 hermit crabs, now we're collecting all the crabs that are in the level, which are 20 in total. So whenever we get to these levels that are collectathons basically saying collect these objects, I'm going to be showing off the extra mission version, because that way you can see the location of all these hermit crabs and you can route out this level for yourself. Whether you're playing the normal version of this mission, or you're doing the extra mission where you have to get them all, I find that showing off the location of all these crabs at once, along with all the other missions like this for Team Chaotix, it's going to make this a lot easier for people. Right there, I actually had a little bit of a glitch that happened in flight formation. Sometimes when you thundershoot your teammates and they come back, you can actually stand on their head for a brief moment. And that brief moment allows you to gain another thing of flight. So you can actually use that to get an infinite amount of flights with your flight character. It's extremely difficult to do. In fact, whenever that happens to me, it's always by chance. Well, I just wanted to go ahead and mention that just because you now saw that happen. But yeah, as you can tell, Team Chaotix here is the most different gameplay style of Sonic Heroes. They're my least favorite team in the game because of this. Having a different gameplay style like this doesn't make it necessarily bad, but the problem is with Team Chaotix, your gameplay style is completely different with what you're used to. The past 3 teams, you were just playing the levels as fast as you could, or just going for high score. you didn't really have to worry about collecting things like this. But with Team Chaotix, that gameplay just automatically shifts to something brand new. It's almost like you're playing an entirely different game. And to me, this giant leap in gameplay isn't really that seamless for Team Chaotix, because their missions can be a big broadened range of different objectives. You can go fast in one level, while the next one you have to just slow down your pace by collecting a certain amount of things. Oh hey, would you look at that, power and flight formation glitch here once again. This happened to me earlier in the Let's Play with Team Dark, but it had to happen here again. And just to showcase, if that happens here with Team Chaotix, you can actually go into one of those warp points and your teammates will come with you. It's the only time when you're in that weird glitch state, your teammates will actually follow you. But I didn't mention what those things are. These are flowers that Charmy can actually activate. Since Charmy is a bee, he can actually interact with these flowers, and they are warp points basically, which take you to the next flower that they're linked to. So that's that, and you'll be seeing those things all over the place. They actually do have a lot of those flowers in certain places on these levels to either give you a shortcut to a different location due to the mission objective, or to basically make you backtrack. And with missions like this, where you have to collect a certain amount of things, or missions where you have to kill a certain amount of enemies, they will actually put one of those flowers in the beginning and an ending of a level. So that way, if you miss something like this, then you can easily just go back through the level, find what you missed, and then you'll be okay. You don't have to restart the entire thing. I honestly think while that's a good idea, the next game in the Sonic series that will have mission-based levels, which is Shadow the Hedgehog, actually handles things better. Because in Shadow the Hedgehog, you have those checkpoints where you can actually warp between them. And I find that method works a lot better than this. This method here, we have to warp back to the beginning of the level using one of the flowers. It can take a while for you to find what you're looking for, because doing this, like I said, you're going right back to the very beginning of a level, so you have to go through everything that you just played just to get back to where you might have missed something. It's pretty annoying. But whenever we're doing these extra missions along with normal mission, as you can see below, I actually have both the normal mission and extra missions A-rank requirements, because they will be different. So do keep that in mind when you're doing these missions. But that's the first mission out of the way, is the collectathon. So now our next mission here is going to be rescuing a Chao. And I'm not going to be doing the extra mission for this one, but I'll be explaining it here in a moment.
Here's your next mission. A Chao is lost in the palace. Find and rescue that Chao.
So the extra mission here for this level is pretty much you find that Chao, but this time you have to do it without getting detected. SBO actually has a special ability that makes this mission playable, because without it, it would be near impossible to get through this level without being seen. But when you use SBO's tornado ability, he will actually turn invisible, since SBO is a chameleon. So when you are invisible, no enemies can see you, and you can still kill enemies since you can still use your homing attack and your shuriken, so you can still interact with things. So pretty much the majority of this level, you're just going to be invisible SBO, and then just take out enemies using your homing attack. So if you're doing that mission, I would highly recommend you get SBO level 3 immediately, because you are going to need it. SBO's level 3 will help you take care of all those shield enemies, otherwise you're going to have a problem there. And you're going to want to be using probably Team Blast to get through those situations, which, as you saw at the ending of the last level, I demonstrated the Team Blast, which this team will just start playing music since they like music a lot apparently, and when they do that, it's so bad that they'll kill all the enemies around them and they get rings. So this Team Blast is the most spammable because of that. This Team Blast lets you gather up rings to a point where you can actually keep on using Team Blast depending on how many enemies are around you. So if you have large groups of enemies around you, it is a great idea to use the Team Blast. That way, the amount of rings you get from using that Team Blast will give you enough meter to activate another one. But right now, I'm going ahead here using the tornado ability with SBO just to show off. This is how his invisible tornado ability works. You turn transparent, so he's a little bit harder to see, but enemies can't see him whatsoever. So you can easily take out enemies with ease because of that. And both Charmy and Vector won't follow SBO, so you won't get caught by enemies. They'll just stay behind. And whenever they're doing that, they're in their idle animation, which means you can actually hear them say special lines. Vector will say, things about like the job he's working on, or Charmy will just make comments about things around him. It's stuff like that. But here we go. We're gonna go ahead and activate Team Blast, and because there's 4 enemies around me that I hit with this, I got 4 things of rings, and the rings are random, so I can get 5, 10, 20, basically whatever amount of rings that you can get from a ring box. And also, whenever you kill enemies when the Team Blast meter is still counting down, you'll get rings from that too as a random amount. So this Team Blast, like I said earlier, is the most spammable. You can easily build up another Team Blast while it's still active, and because of that, it makes things with Team Chaotix a heck of a lot easier. But we got this Shao here in the cage, so why the heck not? We'll just belly slam it, and that's one way to free him, right? But that's it. That's that mission down for you. This one was more straightforward because basically this mission is just beat the level and that's it. And these are the ones I'm more fond of. I'm not really a fan of Team Chaotix gameplay when it's all these different kind of collectathons. It just doesn't really work for heroes. But when it's just, you know, point A to point B, this feels like any other team in the game, which I do enjoy.
So, you're the ones who are playing games with my army?
Sorry, just part of the job.
That's the evil genius, Dr. Eggman.
Doctor Who?
Yes, let me show you who I really am.
Ah, I knew it was him. Don't hesitate. It's time for your job.
Self-proclaimed genius scientist.
Man, is it really hard to hear that person on the walkie-talkie. It would really help we had subtitles there. But right here, we're just gonna go ahead and do the quick kill method like we've been doing. Except I'm gonna be spicing it up a little bit. Doing this, I think the fastest I've ever killed this boss. Basically, you can actually attack the Eggcog here with your flight ability. So you just keep on flying into him when he's landing, you actually do some damage. And then you just pound on him like always with the power character, and you're good to go. That way, you beat this thing in record time. So now with that all out of the way, I'm actually gonna go ahead and end the episode here. Next time on Let's Play Sonic Heroes, we'll continue on here with Team Chaotix story by heading into Grand Metropolis. I'll see you guys next time.